What separates truly impactful leaders from those who just have a title? What makes an organization thrive and be known for its success? And what can you do to make sure you're making an impact? Welcome to this channel. It's my hope that the content I create will help you become a more effective leader in your work, in your community, and in your life. In the book, The Leadership Challenge, James M. Kouzes and Barry Z. Posner outlined 5 practices that they discovered separated exemplary leaders from non-exemplary leaders. In this video, I'm going to go through each of these briefly and then share with you some ways that you can put these into practice in your own life. Number 1, they inspire a shared vision. Exemplary leaders create a vision of the future that causes people to say, "We are going to do it together." Non-exemplary leaders create a vision that causes people to say, "I am going to do it, but I won't need your help." Exemplary leaders paint a picture of the future that excites and motivates others. They focus on possibilities and potential. This is not to say that exemplary leaders don't set individual goals or hold people accountable for results, but their primary focus is on the shared vision. They get other people bought into that vision and committed to it. Non-exemplary leaders tend to focus on problems and obstacles and why something can't be done. They point out that the task force has met 3 times without coming to a decision, that Jim didn't finish his part of the project on time, or that Mary was late submitting her expense report. While this may be necessary occasionally, if this is the way that you primarily lead, you are viewed as a negative leader. People lose respect and even fear you. So how can you ensure that you are inspiring a shared vision rather than focusing on negativity? Well, first, take time to really articulate your vision. What is it that you want to accomplish? Why do you want to accomplish it? How will it benefit not only yourself, but others? Next, spend time explaining that vision to others. Don't try to do it once. Spend time having conversations about the vision one-on-one with people and in small groups. Articulate it in team meetings. Share stories about the vision. Then empower others to take ownership of the vision. Give them opportunities to share their ideas about how to make the vision a reality. Get them involved in the process of achieving the vision. The second thing that exemplary leaders do is they enable others to act. Exemplary leaders understand that they cannot do it all themselves. They need to rely on others. They create an environment where people feel safe taking risks and trying new things. They recognize that mistakes happen and focus on learning from them, rather than punishing people for making them. They give people autonomy and trust them to get the job done right. Non-exemplary leaders, on the other hand, create an environment of fear. They micromanage people. They focus on rules and policies, and they punish people for mistakes. So how can you create an environment where others feel empowered to act? First, start by empowering yourself. You have to have confidence in your own ability to lead and trust your own instincts. You also need to have a clear vision and strategy so that you can communicate that to others. Then give people responsibility. Give them challenging assignments that stretch their abilities. Let them make decisions and take ownership of their work. Finally, show your confidence in them. Trust them to do a good job. Don't micromanage them. Celebrate their successes and support them when they make mistakes. The third thing that exemplary leaders do is they encourage the heart. Encouraging the heart means recognizing people's contributions and celebrating their successes. It also means providing support and encouragement when people are struggling. Exemplary leaders make people feel valued and appreciated. They understand the importance of human relationships, and they invest time in getting to know their people. Non-exemplary leaders, on the other hand, rarely recognize good work. They focus on negative feedback and fail to celebrate successes. They do not invest in relationships and often do not know how to provide meaningful feedback. So how can you become better at encouraging the hearts of those around you? Start by showing your appreciation. Find ways to recognize and celebrate the successes of those around you. This does not need to be expensive or extravagant. A simple thank you or a job well done can go a long way. Be there for people when they are struggling. Offer support and understanding. Be a good listener. Invest in relationships. Take an interest in the lives of those around you. Build trust by being honest and open yourself. By doing these things, you will create an environment of trust and mutual respect where people feel comfortable taking risks and sharing their ideas. The fourth thing that exemplary leaders do is they challenge the process. The status quo can often lead to complacency and mediocrity. Exemplary leaders are not afraid to question the status quo. They are willing to challenge the process and shake things up when necessary. They are constantly looking for ways to improve and innovate. They encourage others to be creative and take risks. Non-exemplary leaders, on the other hand, are often comfortable with the status quo. They resist change and are risk-averse. They do not encourage creativity or innovation. So how can you become better at challenging the process? One thing you can do is ask questions. Who are we trying to serve? Are we serving them well? How can we improve? Are we using our resources wisely? Our current processes and systems, are they helping us achieve our goals? What would happen if we tried something new? Questions like these can help you and your organization continually look for ways to improve. Next, experiment. Be willing to try new things and take calculated risks. If something isn't working, don't be afraid to change it. Finally, learn from both your successes and your failures. When you fail, analyze why it failed and how you can prevent it from happening again. When you succeed, figure out what worked and how you can replicate it. By following these tips, you will be able to challenge the status quo and lead your organization to new heights. The fifth and final thing that exemplary leaders do is they are dedicated to the growth and development of others. They see people as their most valuable resource, and they invest in developing their skills and abilities. They provide opportunities for people to grow, and they mentor and coach them along the way. They understand that people are the ones who will ultimately make the vision a reality. Non-exemplary leaders, on the other hand, are not as invested in the growth and development of others. They may see people as a cost or a necessary evil, but they don't view them as a valuable resource. As a result, they do not invest in their people, and they do not provide them with the opportunities they need to grow. So how can you become better at developing others? First, you have to be a lifelong learner yourself. Be committed to your own growth and development. Be curious and ask questions. Be open to feedback and be willing to change. Then invest in the development of others. Provide opportunities for people to grow and develop. This could include formal training and development programs, but it could also include informal opportunities such as mentoring, coaching, and job shadowing. Finally, celebrate the success of others. Be happy when someone else succeeds. Be their biggest cheerleader. By doing these things, you will create a culture of learning and development where everyone feels comfortable. Asking questions, sharing ideas, and taking risks. I hope you enjoyed this brief overview of the 5 practices that separate exemplary leaders from non-exemplary leaders. These are powerful concepts that can help you become a more effective leader in your organization. And as always, if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe so you can be notified when I release new videos. Also, feel free to share any thoughts or comments you have. Thanks for watching.